We good to go? All right, let's. Okay.
Sorry. I thought it sounded kind of weird. Yeah, it was weird. All right. I guess I bumped it. All right.
How dare you?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, that's whoops enough.
Whoops.
Whoops! Quit it!
Ready to try her again?
Yeah. Alright, everybody, we're gonna put everybody's freaking phones into an RF fucking bag.
Just put it in the hallway.
My phone's way over there. I think it's somebody else's phone.
I am recording.
He's closer.
We can't hear it when we're playing. It's fine.
No, it goes away. Once you start playing, it just
Yeah, no, it's fine.
disappears.
You can use it at the beginning.
It could be a good sound effect too.
Anyway, good?
Yeah, here we go. That's not part of the lyrics?
No, it's just a section. You're supposed to do the thing. That's me. Alright, ready?
I like the
Wait
shit
a
in
second.
there.
We do the...
You got it. You're fine.
Because I already did that once. That was
You were
at the wrong-
perfect.
You're
Shocky,
fine.
you're
Don't overthink
perfect.
it.
Okay.
You'll know.
It did sound weird, so I was like...
Yeah, I went in too quick on that.
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
Because I was like,
Alright.
wow.
Getting hot.
You didn't get the first one, are you sure? No.
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I should have, though.
I mean, I didn't come in till like the verse, but so. All right, everybody. Sheesh.
Seems like a straightforward song, but there's a lot of little fucking shifty parts.
Little
It
nuances.
doesn't help that we've been playing it for a long time and changed it a lot.
Yeah.
Again?
Yep.
alright.
It's alright?
It's alright.
It's alright.
One more time?
Yeah.
Okay. We're good on recording. Just need a little
You did make it
teasery
all the way
thing.
through.
We did.
You're catching too much of the couch, so I moved you up.
Man, fucking
Yeah.
barely.
It's just a little teaser anyways. If you ever want to get a taller one at some point, maybe on the next
I actually,
they always, you know, tall for the fucking social media.
somewhere around here, I've got one that's mounted to a camera stand, and I can't find it.
That sucks.
I was like, I know I put it, like I sat it somewhere, and I saw it just the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, it's right here, and I went to go grab it one day to use it, and it wasn't there. I was like, I know I sat it right here, back in all of the storage that's back there.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Stay in this fucking zone.
Danger zone.
Danger zone! Hey, Lana!
Danger zone. Good.
made one.
Leave that in there.
I don't know if I
The
got
weird little static and then.
Oh, I got the static, but I don't think I got the little
Ah,
leak thing.
We'll
Yeah.
see. Okay.
I made one kind of big fuck up, but
Let's listen back.
it's when I came back in after the.
I know what you're talking about. Unless you really just want to do one more fucking take.
Doesn't matter to me.
I say just do another take.
Alright.
Yeah, let's just do one.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Alright. Oh, very good.
I felt
Listen
pretty
to
good
that
about
one.
that one, yeah.
If there was a little hiccup, there's enough cooler shit in it to
There was
make up
this
for
one
it.
like tom hit that I heard where you hit like maybe the rim a little bit more.
Oh, I
but
definitely did, but it
that
felt
could-
a little jazzy to me, and I kind of liked it.
I was like, I could either fix it, which it wouldn't be a hard fix to do. I have enough tom parts.
No,
I could just,
I know
Happy
what you're talking
accidents.
about.
you know.
Yeah,
It's
I want
punk rock.
At
in
the very
context,
end, I
we'll
hit
see,
a
but
wrong note on
it felt
one
a
of
little
the
jazzy.
videos.
It
It's
didn't
just
like
stanky.
mess any of the vibe of the track up. It was just like, I heard it. There it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
Ding.
my brain was like, fuck. It actually wasn't that bad.
I like shit like that though. If it doesn't totally like
Just totally
wreck it.
eradicate everything.
Well, and the way we like trade solos is kind of jazzy anyway, so it was playing all along.
Alright.
Give it a go.
Alright.
Why is that on? What the metronome going?
Might I partake in some of my coffee, sir?
Absolutely, that's
Thank
what
you.
it's for.
I figured.
Coffee boys. Alright.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. I like that you left this in here.
Alright.
All right. Oh, that sounds funky.
Sounds like there's no bass.
Wow, it's because I'm still in ARM mode. There we go. That should help. It's just.
Lamplight, where you going? Seems like you're staying put. Don't you know that we're on the road now? Let the wind knock off the sun. We have lived, we have told, we have worked these hands raw under the lamplight. How much longer do I have to wait? How much longer till you seal our fate? How much longer till you come and take us away? Yeah, yeah. Labor, have pride. I know. We have to fight. I can't stay in front of me. Lamplight, take me away. Lamplight, where you going? Seems like we're staying put. Don't you know that we're on the road now? Let the wind knock off the sun. We have lived, we have told, we have worked these things wrong under the lamplight. How much longer do we have to wait? How much longer till you seal our fate? How much longer till you come and take us away? Yeah,
phone number in. I'm like, that's not it. And then I stood there for 10 minutes trying to figure out, and my muscles would just not. I was like, well, maybe if I do enough, it locks you out, and I'm screwed. But I was like, no muscle memory's not gonna work right now.
Yeah. I think all the stuff in there that are hiccups sounds intentional in a way. Like, I don't think they sound totally like fuck ups.
Yeah.
It's like playing loose and punkish. But as an outside listener, I don't know.
I don't notice any of like the stuff you guys are mentioning. I don't really. It doesn't
That's
like.
all I need to hear.
It's not like, except for like the one Tom hit where you hit the room a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that like really stuck out to me, and that's not really a
I don't
problem.
even know if I noticed that.
I don't even notice it now that we are
Second
listening
verse.
back to it. I was like, I don't really hear it like I did.
I like it now.
And I know I've said this shit plenty of times, but it's like listening to old Korn records when they didn't overcorrect shit.
Yeah.
And there's just weird little sounds and like, I'm like, what the fuck was that? But it like,
Someone
you
can turn their
more you
phone
listen
off.
to it, you're
yeah.
like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And it makes you like recenter on it when you listen, because you're not like Pro Tools, like just, you're like, oh, what the fuck?
Oh yeah,
Like,
you're just
feel
looking at a
like you're
computer.
in
I
the
can
room.
go and I can timeline all the crap I want to it.
Yeah.
Oh, where'd my headphones just go?
I think they're on your back.
How dare they? I don't want to go too far away. I might need them.
Do you want to listen to the second one? Or is that's the one? I think there's enough fun shit in there.
I would be fine with any of them, but I prefer that one.
Yeah.
You prefer the end. You prefer the last one.
Correct. The one we just listened to.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
I feel
I'm
like,
not like guessing.
I feel like the best one to you.
I feel so. There are pieces that if I need to, I could pull from the second one, but I don't feel like there's any
The
really.
tempo shouldn't be that far off.
No, and
'cause
it would
kinda
be
started
more.
same way.
You know, we'll redo your vocals, so I'm not really
Yeah.
concerned about that. Even though, like, listening back, I was like, actually, really, even vocally, it's not like it really doesn't
It
sound.
just isn't the lyrics.
Which is fine.
Yeah. Maybe even on the chorus though, like if you left, that's the labor half price.
Right.
I know we have to fight. You could like leave the live one underneath it, because that is that.
Right.
And maybe there's a little bit more of a playing it live intentionality under it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fits, but I don't know.
Feels jazzy to me.
No, I kind of like the live aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's very like it doesn't. It's like we said. It's like kind of like almost a raw sense to it,
Mm-hmm.
as
Mhm.
opposed to just like completely over processed.
Oh, and you have said you hear little punky elements in our stuff, and it is in there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just like stuff that's humanizing,
Right.
because there's a lot of music nowadays that I enjoy, but there's just like, it's so processed.
Oh yeah, everything's so processed.
Feels like eating too many Skittles.
Yeah.
Like, man, that was kind of good, but
Yeah,
You buy the great big bag of Skittles.
it's
I mean,
sugary.
it also just depends what you're going for, because like having like done everything live here, and then like Rap on Rap does everything to a clip with like a billion takes. Like it makes more sense for Rap on Rap because it's super, fucking like they're pop songs in a lot of ways. So like, yeah, everything should be clean as fuck
Right.
on something like that. But we're
I
a dirty
think-
ass band, dude.
Yeah, I think philosophically it works, and
Yeah.
it's nice because it's like,
Right.
it's like, yeah, you can't say we suck, but we're not gonna like bury our mistakes.
I wouldn't
just-
go that
it's there.
far. Yeah, no, that's
So if somebody hears like
Well,
they're
what's-
like, whoa, what?
what's
And then
great
we're just
about
like,
it
put
is
it in.
even if you were to go play it live, you're not like leaving that whole when you go play live, you're not leaving the whole album behind. It's like, oh, that's how the album sound.
Yeah,
Because I don't like that when I go listen to a band. I'm like, the album sounded great, and then you hear them live, and like, it's nothing like
that happened
like
to
the
me
album.
seeing Devil Driver. I was so bummed because I loved those first two records,
Right.
and then I'm like,
They sound nothing
oh,
like
fuck.
what they did.
Oh,
when they
It was
played
so
the record.
disappointing. And maybe it was just a one-off night, but he was like out of breath and like, sing it for me,
Yeah.
because I can't fucking breathe.
Well, also like seeing bands here, they're always more out of breath
Yeah.
because elevation.
Yeah.
And I only know that because
In
half the time
Utah,
they complain
not
about
as
it.
bad, but
I
that's
was-
where it was.
Yeah.
And then drummers playing too fast. And
Yeah, they don't play they're not playing like the record. It's like, yeah, it's because they process the shit out of it.
yeah, it sounds great. But
Yeah, it's
no,
the
yeah,
end
I'd
result's
rather
good, but
sound like, oh, they recorded that live.
yeah, I'd almost rather you
More
guys sound good on your own than have to make my job a little bit easier.
Yep. Well, we good? Do vocals? Jockey?
Do it.
Okay.
Trying to think of newish type of footage to get, not be redundant. But I don't know if there really is anything.
Just footage of my hairy nipples.
That's what we need. We need like a camera person to come
They're
around.
not hairy
Nipple
enough.
cam?
Honestly, you're right. Not
I
enough
think
to sell.
I think you need like a merkin for your nipples. Almost.
I'm getting a beer belly back. I need to give it a breather for a minute.
Mine never left.
Never that.
Unfortunately, I can't get rid of it.
Mine's pretty gone.
I don't feel like you've ever really had one.
Yeah.
It's not
I had a little bit of one, like
maybe it's because your
After
guitar's always in the
COVID.
way, but
A little
I
bit
think
of a
everybody
cookie
did
pouch.
after COVID.
I like my cookie pouch.
well, COVID especially fucked me up because I had like a rare symptom of like it turned off my ability to feel full from food,
oh,
That's weird.
and so I was like,
That's not a
Just
symptom I've heard a lot about.
yeah, I've never even heard of it, but it definitely was for me. Like I was sick as shit, and I was like eating so much food, and I was like, the only way that I could like, I was like, my gut was like hurting, like full,
rather than
and I was like, okay, I've eaten too much food, but I was like
Yeah.
just eating, like
Your brain was like, you need
I was so
nutrients.
hungry.
Just keep giving it stuff.
I don't even know if it's my fault. It's Jacob's.
Alright.
Maybe we should put that in standby for a moment. It's gonna be a.
Alright.
But yeah,
That's
For
a
like-
that's a really weird symptom.
for like 5 days, I just felt so hungry, and when I was done, I probably gained like 20 pounds.
I gained a lot of weight during that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because of that. It was just because
When I get sick,
ate a lot
I
and didn't go
sometimes
anywhere.
get a crazy appetite.
Yeah,
It's not all the time, but I'm just fucked every day.
I probably gained almost 30 pounds during COVID, like including that, and I'm just barely getting to the point where I'm like,
But it's all in my dick.
I think I gained 50 pounds. I just never lost it. Getting to the age where it doesn't leave.
I'll be right back.
Have it done quiet. We're hunting rabbits. All right, ready, sir?
Mhm.
Come. I am playing. Okay, hot second. Figure out why I'm not hearing anything. Oh, because I'm dumb. I don't know where that got me to, but it did. Okay. We have fixed said problem. We're going to start this again.
My friends, where you going? Seems like you're staying put. Don't you know we're on the road now? Let the wind knock off the soot. We have lived, we have toiled, we have worked our hands raw under the lamplight. How much longer do we have to wait? How much longer till they seal our fate? How much longer till they come and take us away? Yeah, yeah. Labor, half price. I know we have to fight. I can't say in front of me, lamplight, clear the way. What the hell's it gonna take, friends, before we counteract attacks on our fellow neighbors, a knife in our mother's back? We have lived, we have toiled, we have worked our hands raw under the lamplight. How much longer do we have to wait? How much longer till they seal our fate? How much longer till they come and take us away? Yeah, yeah. Labor, half price. I know we have to fight. I can't say in front of me, lamplight, clear the way. Can't you see with those eyes all the lies they spew, all the ruined lives? Can't you hear all the cries, crying for dignity, crying for truth deprived? Can't you taste sulfur in the air, a static hum of rage, simmering 45s? Can't you feel this at all? There's redemption here, but this is your last call!
Oh
I do like that little phone tick, 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 at the very end.
no. I
Right.
think we have a little bit of Bernard's Bodie, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that.
The little clicking.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's on every song you guys do.
It's part of the band.
There's a little bit of clicking going on at all
Got a
times.
little dude inside the amp that plays with us.
Actually, at aphasia, there's a lot of it.
Huh.
When you're not playing, there's a lot of, you'll hear it. You'll hear the like RF signal or whatever EF that's going on in it.
Okay.
It's because we're on that underground radio.
You are underground.
Sending out the singles. Yeah,
If
I
you
thought
think
that was
down here, it wouldn't
alright.
be those problems.
Next song. Next song.
What's funny is like we never get
Next
that in
song.
at the house.
Sometimes we do.
It
Not all the
could
time.
be.
Not since I got rid of the digital board.
It could be because we are underground.
Signal
My
might be
iPhone.
bouncing more. It's not escaping.
It can't. Yeah, it can't leave.
Yeah.
Wants to leave.
Used to have this problem.
It's like a Faraday cage, but instead of it being coming in, it can't go out.
Mm. Yeah, my buddy Matt used to have that problem all the time with his amp. And now I haven't heard it in a while. I don't know what it was. It sounded the exact same, too.
I visited a studio down in Denver a couple weeks ago, and every guitar amp, like booth, like they built booths for each guitar amp, and each one was a Faraday cage. Like inside, you looked inside it, and you could see like acoustic treatment, and then there was like a wire cage that stuck out about that far from the walls. It just like so you'd open up the door, and then you'd open up the cage, stick your amp in, and then close it. And every booth was done that way. Even like their vocal booth was done that way.
Damn.
He's like, yeah, we're trying to keep as much like, because they were down like the Denver Tech Center, and he's like, yeah, without these, we get every radio station stuff bouncing around here that we were just getting so much RF and EF and all this stuff that we had to do something to keep it out. So
Goddamn EMFs.
it was crazy. I was like, this is insane. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I don't have a need for that. I'm underground. They're like, yeah, that makes sense. So.
Also, Loveland's a little different than the tech center.
Yeah, we're a lot different here than. So you want to save? Definitely want to save. We want to save as a template.
Did you want to listen back with those new vocals or just move on?
What was the name of this song?
Lamplight.
Lamplight.
I think if we did cut that guitar at the very beginning of the second verse, the part you're talking about, it would sound kind of cool if it just cut out somewhere and then came back in on the second line.
Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe find the timestamp for everybody here.
250.
Yeah, let's give that a listen, I guess, that part, so we know what we're talking about.
What are we talking about?
About on the second verse, about 250, his guitar just kind of.
I don't know if it's 250. I guess it's probably closer to like 230.
Yeah, go back a tiny bit. And
Probably
come
start at
into
like,
it.
yeah, probably start at like 2 minutes.
Give one hot second. Oh, you're not letting me do that? Fine. There's 2 minutes.
The Bergen,
Right
cut
on
it.
it.
And
Yeah.
then,
What are we cutting?
so go back just a tiny bit and you'll hear it. Because we're coming out of that reggae, it's like. Right after he starts getting noodly and.
Is that you I'm cutting?
Oh, me.
You. That makes sense.
Yeah, just right after that burden.
No, I don't want to move the whole freaking program. I just want to move you. lost in there? What am I talking about? You want that darn it out.
No, leave the donut.
Right on that. Like cut that out and then.
Basically, it goes do 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 do. Go off on it, and he's just fucking it up.
So you just want that. How much of that you want cut out?
Right after the
Just that.
and he goes when he shouldn't. Sounds weird, but because hear it with the vocals, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Supposed to freaking do.
Do you want just that whole phrase, like the like the first one I do cut out?
Because we always do that part, and then I do the part and do the line. So
that whole part where it's just
then you
cut that whole thing out.
Because you hold that note too.
But I
Yeah, so
don't.
just
I'm
cut.
supposed to, but the thing is I accidentally went back into it. So just cut that whole.
You want that whole phrase cut out.
Yeah, basically it's like do 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 do. I come back in with the verse riff, which is burden. There's a verse of line right here now. On the second time I come in and he comes in. Sorry. Just basically that's the starting of the second verse. Let us come in and do one line of vocals.
Attack, son of a...
So you want it to come back in.
Go back further with the vocals playing. You'll.
Out now.
Oh, it keeps doing that. Why do you keep? Do I have like some kind of automation going on here? Why does it keep muting the track? Oh, because it's in record mode. That's why.
Gonna take friends before we counteract.
Or you could come in right there, like before we counteract. Like vocals.
Well, just comes back on the second.
I think it functions better if you just let me do the two lines and then you come in for the last two. Structure.
Okay.
But we could. We gotta kind of hear everything though. So no.
Why do you keep muting? That's my question. So if you want it to come back into the.
Let's listen to the whole thing from that reggae-ish part. The whole verse. Verses. Yeah, second verse. And then.
What the hell?
Do 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 do. Then that's starting the next verse of. But yeah, let's listen to the whole thing, because then I think you'll get what we're talking about.
That keeps muting.
From the reggae-ish part.
I'm just trying to figure. I have.
Yeah.
There we go. That's why.
Half price. I know we have to fight. I can't say in front of me. What the hell's it gonna take, friend? Before we counteract.
This is a good spot.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
That's all that matters.
Sounds right to you, Shocky?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like it. Yeah, it cuts out cleanly. You meant to do that.
Absolutely, you did.
I didn't not mean to do it.
That's sort of what I mean. It's such like a kind of funkier song that cutting out and then back in like that works really well for it. That's some of my favorite stuff in music sometimes.
Okay, give me a hot second here.
Caleb vocals sounded good.
I think so.
Okay.
Thanks, so.
Next one we're gonna get done in one take.
Are we doing Mermaid?
Have any fun, weird, liquidy, bubbly, drippy effects for vocals?
Possibly.
Yeah, this song's called "A Mermaid Sleeps Here," and it's supposed to be really like spacey, ethereal. Don't need to totally have clarity on the vocals. It's kind of
Right.
more. You have to kind of like listen to pick it up, kind of thing. Deftonesy. With a little bit of psychedelic liquidiness.
A little bit? Just a bit.
Yes, a little bit. What's the name of this song?
This next one.
Yeah.
A Mermaid Sleeps Here.